hi there everyone. Welcome to another Cardwell's Cauldron here at Geektopia Island. I'm Cardwell.
And I'm Kevin.
And today we have a fun little cheap deck for you for sure. And it's probably super terrible, but I want to make this archetype work. And it hasn't worked in a very long time.
Yeah.
But of course, before we get into it, go and remind you that we do have a Patreon. It only takes $1 to support us, and we love you very much for it as well. And today, we're going with the archetype of just the bleed archetype. And that's exactly what the deck's name is, just bleed. Now, it's usually black and white, but white has nothing at this moment, so it's black-blue. And hopefully we'll get there. And blue's just there for simple copy, like a copycat mechanic, so you can have more bleed effects for everything. I don't know, it's ridiculous.
It looks pretty silly. I mean, it'll do its job if you get there, but you just gotta get there.
You just gotta get there. And with the meta changing all the time right now, because everything's getting banned, who knows, right?
Yeah, right?
So the first card is Ayara, first of the Locthwain. It's 3 black, 2/3. When her or another black creature enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Simple as that. And it's also a bleed deck without oven or cat. And that's what we're trying to work with here.
Next up is our boy Murderous Rider. He is 2 black and 1 for a 2/3 zombie knight. He's got lifelink. And when he dies, you put him on the bottom of your owner's library. And he's also got Adventure, which is 2 black and 1 for Swift End. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Yeah. So you play him for the Swift End, then you can play him as a creature later.
Yeah, exactly. He's just... We needed a kill in the deck, and he's just a super solid kill.
He's a very good utility card.
He's just ridiculous. Now, old returning favorite of mine is Dread Presence. 4-drop, so 3 and a black, 3/3, Nightmare. So whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. You can draw a card and lose a life, or preferable, deal 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. So that's a bleed effect right there for sure.
Yeah, that dude's ridiculous.
He is.
Next up is Spark Double. It is a blue and 3 for a 0/0, and it comes into play as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters with additional 1/1 counters. If it's a creature, it enters with additional loyalty if it's planeswalker, and if it isn't legendary, it becomes legendary. Or it's not legendary if it was a legendary. Yeah. So you can target a legendary with it.
You can target Aria, so you can do double bleed. You can also do all the planeswalkers that we have. You can double them up. So it's just a simple thing with that. And a guy that's not really used at all is Spawn of Mayhem. 2 and 2 black. He's a demon, 4/4, but he has Spectacle, which is 1 and 2 black. So for 3 mana, if you're able to deal damage, he costs cheaper. He has Flample, so he has Flying and Trample. But at the beginning of your upkeep, it deals 1 damage to each player. Then if you have 10 or less life, you put a 1/1 counter on it. So he closes the gap pretty quickly. And he's a big beater.
Yeah, he bleeds out every turn.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. Next up is Syr Konrad the Grim. He is 2 black and 3 for a 5/4 human knight. He's a legendary, and whenever another creature dies or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature leaves your graveyard, Syr Konrad deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Yep.
And then pay a black and 1, each player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard.
So this limited bomb here, I just want to play him because he bleeds, and he's a 5/4 for 5, and you never know. You might get to the point where the board's stalled and you just keep paying 2 to remove stuff.
Yeah, pretty good.
To self-mill and everyone mill, do all the fun stuff. Alright, I had to put this in here because it's early kill and I get yelled at when I don't make any kill spells. It's Tyrant Scorn. It's a blue and a black instant. Choose one. Destroy a target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, or return target creature to its owner's hand. So if it's over 3 or less, you just bounce it to their hand and slow them down. Pretty simple, pretty perfect kill spell.
Next up, Davriel, the Rogue Shadowmage, a black and 2 for a 3-drop planeswalker, or a 3 loyalty planeswalker. And at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in their hand, he deals 2 damage to them. -1, target player discards a card.
Yep.
So over time, you can slowly bleed them down to where they only have 1 card in hand, and then they take damage.
Yeah, which is pretty good. Now this one, of course, has never ever been used as Mirrormade. It's 1 and 2 blue enchantment. You may have Mirrormade enter the battlefield with a copy of any artifact or enchantment on the battlefield. And this is pretty much going to copy the next thing for sure.
which is Ill-Gotten Inheritance. It is a ridiculous card in Limited.
Yes, it really is.
So hopefully it has the same premise in Standard.
Yeah.
It is a black and 3 enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, Ill-Gotten Inheritance deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. And then you can pay a black and 5, sacrifice it. It deals 4 damage to target opponent and you gain 4 life.
Yep.
So if you play it turn 4, every turn after that, they just take damage.
It's constant. And you bleed them out, and that's the archetype that I love so much. And with Mirrormade, you can copy that and go crazy. We have one for honorable mentions that will help this out if you're fighting aggro. But yeah, just enchantments that bleed. And also that does is Ob Nixilis, the Hate Twisted. It's 3/2 black. He's a 5 loyalty planeswalker. Whenever an opponent draws a card, he deals 1 damage to that player. And then you can -2, destroy target creature a controller draws 2 cards. So therefore you can destroy their big bomb and they draw 2, take 2, or you can kill one of your dudes so you can draw cards and hopefully get advantage.
Yeah, because he only hurts your opponent. He doesn't hurt you, so you just like draw cards. Thanks.
Done. Thanks.
This card made me laugh.
It's terrible.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Next up is God-Pharaoh statue.
What?
6 for a legendary artifact. Spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more to cast.
That's
and
right.
At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 1 life.
Just
We'll see if this does anything.
probably not.
Probably dead before this hits.
Yeah.
But if it gets to be in play, it can do a lot of work, actually.
Hopefully if you're just bleeding them all the time, then you can survive to throw this out here.
Yeah.
And their spells cost 2 more. Then hopefully it'll suffer them.
It really does a lot more than you think it does. Honestly, if it's in play, it's just you got to get to that point where you can put it in play.
Yeah. So pretty much this deck is made of just limited bombs put together, and hopefully it works.
We'll see.
We will see. But of course with the lands, it's only 2 colors thankfully. So we have 2 Castles of Locthwain. It's the black castle. Basically comes into play tapped unless you control a swamp. Adds a swamp. Then you pay 1 and 2 black, and then draw a card, and you take damage equal to the number of cards in your hand. So it's just there at the end. Hopefully you can fuel your hand if you need be.
Next up is Castle Vantress. It is the blue castle. Comes into play tapped unless you control an island. It adds a blue. You can pay 2 blue and 2 and tap scry 2.
Yep.
So it helps you dig further to get what you need.
There we go. And we don't have 8 of the dual lands as we do in the other colors. So we have Fabled Passage. Now, without this card, we calculate it's like $120 for this deck, so it's super cheap. Probably even cheaper than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you tap, sacrifice, Fabled Passage, search your... It's basically Evolving Wilds. You search your deck for a basic land, but if you control 4 or more lands, it comes into play untapped, which is super solid.
Yeah.
Especially when all of this is 3 and up. And then we have our islands, swamps, and then our Watery Grave, which is our shock land for black-blue. So super good with that. Now, as always, we don't do sideboards because we don't know your local meta, and plus the meta is changing at the moment. Like there's Jund Sacrifice and all this fun stuff. But we do have the mention of a card that can go in straight in the main board or just help for sideboard. And this one's called Revenge of the Ravens. Also a limited bomb. You get 2 of these and you just win. So 3 in a black enchantment. Whenever a creature attacks, or you or a planeswalker you control, the controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So if they're attacking into the planeswalkers, you're already doing a double life buffer immediately. And you want to put this in the aggro, and most of the aggro right now is just like 1/1s or 2/1s, and you're just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll bleed you out. Thanks.
So you're gonna take you're gonna 0 out because when they attack, you gain a life, and they're 1/1 hits for 1. So you're like, cool,
exactly.
You just lost life for attacking.
It just gets to the point where they might just scoop if they can't deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that's a silly bleed archetype for standard right now, and it's very sad, very budgety, but I like it. And I can't wait to put it together on Arena and see how fun we can make it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. With that, hopefully you enjoyed your stay here at Geektopia Island. I hope you have a good day.
Later.
Bye.
Also, guys, I just remind y'all to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to keep up to date on all our future content, make sure you click that bell. It'll give you all the notifications you need.
With that, we'd like to go ahead and give a big thank you to all our fans that support us through the year, and especially our Patreon support people. We do like to give a shout out to our Mythic and Above supporters, and that would be Dwayne Higgs. Thank you very much. We love you.